Somebody call a doctor because bad medicine is back. Over there is Diamond Dave Damone. This is the Appleton Oak. I'm Mason Quinn. I was waiting for the answer, but he's not here.
He's not here.
Folks, today we are checking out Dead City. This is season 2, episode 4. We are halfway, well, we will be halfway through the season here after this one. So I'm very interested to see, what kind of turn we take, because typically this is where we really start to set up the final stretch of the story. So we shall see.
The answer didn't make it. Torn apart right in front of us. Yeah, look, we had quite the venture through Central Park. I still need to know what the roaring is.
Yeah, we can't be done with
that. They have my interest completely piqued. I'm going with the lion, but I'm hoping we get some payoff for that little tease this episode.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what Dama and Herschel, how that dynamic is going to turn out. So hopefully we get a little bit more into this one. And of course, Negan and Maggie, what are you guys going to do? What are you guys going to do in this episode, huh? Let's go!
Oh, this is a mess.
Hey, Bob, we are way behind on schedule, so I'm going to need you to get everything hooked up like yesterday. All this stuff needs to be done by tomorrow. Got to have it done.
Boss, I'm not an electrician. I mean, shouldn't we wait for the pros?
This can't be that hard. Couple plugins, couple wires. It's not that big of a deal. We do not have time to wait for the electrician, so just get it done. I'm counting on you, all right?
I'm counting on you. Oh!
Jumping jackrabbits. Bob, what the hell happened?
Oh, I knew this was a bad idea.
Bob's instincts were right, but his supervisor didn't listen. Now Bob's injury could be worth millions.
Wait, did you say millions? Who are these professionals that can help me?
Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury firm with more than 1,000 lawyers and 4,000 case staff ready to fight for you if you become their client. But Bob is worried because he doesn't have the cash to pay for expensive legal fees. Worry no more. When your boss puts you in a dangerous situation and you get hurt, don't settle for less than you deserve. Morgan & Morgan will fight to get you every penny. And the best part? It's completely free unless you win. But Bob feels conflicted. He doesn't want to sue his boss, even if the company hasn't paid him for the last 6 months. When you sue for an injury, you're not suing your boss. You're suing their insurance company. There's no reason to feel bad about getting the compensation you deserve. So if you've been a victim in a car accident, medical malpractice, workplace injury, or any other personal injury, you can hit the link in the description to get Morgan & Morgan to fight for you. Bob did, and he sure is thankful Morgan & Morgan had his back.
It wasn't just the church. It was a whole block. Radio City Music Hall. It was like traveling back in time. Like
I used to ride motorcycles.
Uh-oh, not the rat in the bucket.
Oh, too fast, too
magical
furious.
would it be to get the grid back on?
A very big day ahead of us.
God, that guy just oozes charisma.
Charisma.
Bruegel should be coming to us. He's a slippery eel, looking only to feed his own mouth. I don't know why we trust the word he says.
We shouldn't. New Babylon will be back, and they will have learned from their mistakes. We need our army, which means we need Bruegel. So we just have to make nice.
I would say I have a gift for determining weakness and exploiting it.
His face. The Walker cannons worked pretty good in the previous episode.
That was pretty excellent. Fill him up with my
Oh,
paint.
Did you
Don't
look
forget
at
anything
that?
in the car.
These cars. Can you imagine the commercial they would do with the Walker methane to fuel your car?
Well, it's F450. Those mirrors are expensive to replace.
They are.
There's a reason we needed you. He is too emotional. He's volatile. Things have to remain amicable today. Make sure he doesn't fuck it up. I imagine your family must be crossing the
Oh,
Appalachians
she had to throw
by
that
now.
in there.
I'll pray for them.
Bonker with the bat. That's what he wants to do.
Bonker?
Bonker. Dawn in 60?
Supposed to ring the damn doorbell?
Little pig, let me in.
Still the worst theme music of the Walking Dead universe.
No, the bass line's okay.
It builds tension.
I said okay.
As long as it works for you guys,
Say
that's all that
it's
matters.
great, but
It just doesn't work for this guy.
well, maybe in the next spinoff we'll get to see Sam Witwer's story about the tank.
I don't think that's ever going to happen. That was more of a Frank deal, and I think that got kiboshed. And Frank was out the door.
Yeah.
And once I got Herschel back, the Croat took Negan away.
So you traded. I thought Negan was helping you.
He killed Herschel's dad. And I had to get my son back.
I'd have done the same. Did he say anything?
No.
Negan's been with the Barrazi. He's got to know something about the methane where they're set up. We got to find him, learn what he knows.
How are you going to explain this to Narvaez? You being the Negan Slayer and all.
Then he's no dragon slayer.
I found something in her bag. A gun. Think she took it from one of the other officers.
Let's keep this between us for now.
'Cause nobody else is making it out of this episode.
Hope the traffic wasn't too bad.
I like what you've done with the place. More refined than when Christos and his people called it home for him. Canvases were kindling, sculptures projectiles. I was shocked to hear he had lost it to you in one of your little games.
Go big or go homeless.
Got yourself a lot of mirrors here, Slick.
It's to help reflect the natural light coming into the museum. Electricity would be nicer, obviously, or methane torches. Speaking of which,
He's killing me.
this isn't wine, is it?
It's a small token of our respect.
Thank you. Thank you. With this much methane, I'm sure we could probably power a toaster. Who are you?
He's a recent emigre, a historian. I brought him along to record all the history we'll be making.
Oh, I'd love to read it when it's all done.
It's meant mostly for posterity.
Oh, it's an inspirational tale. Thermopylae.
The least I could do for such a lavish gift.
I so knew you'd appreciate the Goya. But
Yeah,
before
they're
we
just-
continue and get into all this nitty-gritty stuff, I'd love to show you around.
Lead the way.
How insincere and sarcastic can we be?
Yeah, this feels...
But Kim Coates absolutely crushed that scene, though. My God, was he incredible.
Is there anything Kim Coates doesn't crush?
But I mean, just
though?
his
It-
whole
that's-
delivery was just so awesome.
Bravado.
Bravado. So desperately needed on this series.
The only reason that I'd ask you to stay is to keep an eye on things.
I'm thinking we keep it small. Maggie Herschel and me, seen as we're the ones who know the Barrazi.
There's no perimeter. Not anymore. They left this morning for the old art museum at the edge of the park, which means it's time for you to go.
If you give us a day, I'll scout the museum while the others pack up. When I get back, we'll head out.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Dude, I will say she popped me when she had that face when they started the ritual chant.
Yeah.
1776. General plans a surprise attack on Trenton. He hopes to capture 2/3 of England's forces and turn the entire war around. And so Washington crosses the Delaware. This is my favorite piece in the whole museum.
Good for them for keeping that nice and cleanly. And
Just curious what you think.
Never been a big art lover. I'm more of a movie poster kind of guy.
ditto.
All of it won in a gamble. You are, what do they call it? New money. How many fights has your champion won in a row? 26. Like Christos, I might
in
wonder
here.
how your champion could be so persistently victorious.
I don't know that it's such a
lean
big
back.
mystery, right? Biggest dude wins. You have the biggest dude, a big fucking Frankenstein of a dude.
He is, isn't he? Well, you're all going to be happy then because today you have a front row seat to an exhibition match. Lunch, come, please, after me.
Ugh. I hope we get an episode of just Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Kim Coates. Just those two.
That'd be
That's
great.
it.
You know there's going to be some heavy monologue between those two. It's going to be amazing.
When I was a kid, my brother and I had cut class. The school was strict, so we had to sneak out. Can't tell you how many times Joe pulled a fire alarm.
What's your fire alarm?
It was a bell. You pull
it.
What food do you miss most?
Jelly donut. Last time I saw a candy bar was 3 years in.
And Glenn.
It surprised me.
I don't see what was so great about the old world.
Yeah, here we go.
Yep.
Killing each other for resources.
Ooh.
It's not all it was.
The more people try to bring it back, it just leads to more fighting and killing.
Hey, where are you going?
I saw some blackberries.
Okay, just be careful.
She's got to let him kind of do his thing and not be super overprotective.
Yep.
I thought I heard walkers when they first sat down on that log.
What is going on here?
I gotta chum them up.
It's like Diamond Dave's barbecue there.
No, it's answer. Do you want that tough or extra tough?
That brisket was the shits.
He's never gonna see this anyway.
No.
I still don't. This makes no sense because walkers are bloody all the time after attacking someone. Doesn't mean they attack each other.
Yeah, that's
Just
just
makes
I gotta see how they. This is a fun story for me. How would you have it if they?
Interesting that even when nothing is at stake, you still let your champion fight.
Champion. Champion. I'm not making fun. This is your accent's just so fucking exotic.
Ovation.
It's a wonderful accent. It's interesting.
So Dama's gonna end up. Oh my god.
Well, I mean,
Not hungry?
Saving myself for the second course.
That's it. I knew I'd seen you before. I'd been doing all this research on the old world, and in one of the New York papers, I kept coming across these reviews, plays and musicals. They were so witty and scathing.
oh, look at her.
She used to be the critic.
He's gonna get stabbed.
That's what I'm thinking.
Dictated culture for decades. She basically ran the city. There was this writer at one of the shows. There was an altercation with the writer, and
I bit him.
Oh,
What was that drawing you were showing me? The one with the fallen sky bridge. And who drew it again? Herschel, if I'm not mistaken. I knew our boy was involved the second he sent the smoke signal.
Pass the carrots. The carrot, please.
Oh, much needed.
So
This
these two,
character's much needed.
yeah.
not really any kind of fight. They're just kind of.
Yeah.
Stumble over each other and maybe one of them gets
But hey,
taken out.
in this current time, this would be highly entertaining.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
How the fuck would that? Whatever. I'm taking
Oh
it right.
wait, what did he just catch there?
Well, dude, yeah, he caught the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
it was an elbow.
Yeah. Why would a walker elbow somebody?
Yeah.
It's a real person.
Which now explains why they go after each other. He has to just
Yeah, play the role.
and then slowly, at some point, stab the walker.
I know I seem hard on the outside, but deep down I'm terrified all the time.
Strange to think I'm fighting so hard to bring back a world that my daughters never knew. Is that what they even want?
Herschel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Why are you here?
I'm here to kill the man that killed my father.
When I got to New Babylon, they looked at me like I was an animal. But there was one person who refused to give up on me. She'd soon be Governor Bird. She gave me this very pistol. She taught me that no society can flourish without the law.
You see what I see?
Mm.
Let's just decock that hammer here, people.
That thing's ready to be touched off.
That man that killed your father, you say he's still here. Is his name Negan?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was odd. That I felt like it was a test for her to
see if she knew how to use it or something.
Yeah, I wouldn't walk around with that. Okay, now this makes all the sense in the world that it is some human, because it's not even walking around like a walker.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's doing that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Back in the old days, I was in a position of power and influence. Some people, they loved me, but a lot more hated me. So I got myself a bodyguard. His name was Tony. He taught me the true meaning of service. When I say I'm going to serve you to our newfound alliance.
When do I get patched in?
I would like to propose a small, tiny addendum. Let's build a second methane facility right here in the museum.
Absolutely not. You are in no position to ask for anything. He is cheating. How is it Bruegel's champion never loses? His reflexes are quick.
Yeah, here we go.
Have you injected him with something? Methylphenidates? Traces of the chemicals can easily be detected through the administration of femproporics, which I would be more than happy to do.
So he's not suggesting it's a person. He's suggesting he's
juiced up. PEDs.
PED. Yeah, PED use in zombies.
We should get your coats.
You know what? You're offended. I mean, if I was accused of amping up a walker to cheat, hell, I'd be pissed off too. But the thing is, we do it your way. All right? If Frankenstein wins, you get your methane. But we pick a guy and he wins, then you join our alliance. No addendums.
You're on.
Who are they going to pick?
Go pick one and juice one up.
Yeah, I guess.
Do you remember the story about when we were on the road and you found the lightning bug? And the way that I tell it, is that how you remember it too?
We were on the road. You said I was 5 or 6, but earlier that day you told me to get some firewood. I could hear you crying to yourself. You didn't know I was back yet, so I pretended to take a little longer. And then I saw this lightning bug in the distance, so I
didn't know.
Boy, Maggie keeps putting her heart out there for him. You know, it's like she can almost sense that he's drifting away from her.
Mm-hmm. Going after that.
That's going to be their guy from the towing truck?
Who's down there?
Negan.
Then we need to find a way in.
Exciting music. The best music caption. Not foreboding, tense. Just says exciting music. Whoever's doing the closed caption. Hey guys, what should we put for this music?
It's exciting.
I don't know, man. This has to get done. Just put something in there. Exciting music.
That's pretty much what it felt like.
I could create a distraction or something.
And then I can get him alone. I've got an idea.
Like an underdog.
I would be an underdog.
They put a bunch of screwdrivers taped it to his head.
There's no restrictions on armor as long as the back of the head is exposed.
You know, I think I'm good. I like an underdog.
Oh my fucking God!
No, they're burning the painting.
They're going to think it's the Croat.
Now put it all out. Throw yourself against it.
Throw yourself against it.
There's liking the underdog, and then there's just being stupid. I assume you know the difference.
Well, let's hope so.
That's it. How do these things happen?
Oh, we know that whistle.
Yeah.
What, nobody else would hear it and be like...
Only the Croat would know what that means.
Yeah, and
but,
Negan, of course.
Where are you going?
The boys' room. Rat has a tendency to go right through me.
Shit.
A lot of weaponry on the walls there to choose from.
Maybe. Why?
Not for you.
Be a little strange if came back to bust out the guy that you threw in the slammer.
Like you're holding up just fine.
Finally got you on the payroll.
I won't bullshit you. I know we don't got a lot of time. It's for a just cause that's going to help a lot of people.
But you know what? I want to hear it from you. What the hell are you doing coming back here? What are you thinking?
Do you think I want to be here? I don't give a shit about the methane. Sooner I help them, sooner Herschel and I can go back to living our lives in fucking peace.
So I'm putting up all the risk
I
as
don't
always.
need anything from you, just a location.
I give you anything, even something small, then the people I'm looking out for, I
Annie and Joshua.
There we go.
St. Patrick's Cathedral. It's Herschel. She got to him somehow. He is helping
Who?
her.
Who got to him?
Listen to me. You can't trust him.
No.
I am telling you, that's how they knew
You don't know what you're talking about.
She knows. She saw the.
Yeah.
Go.
She saw him light the fire.
Yeah, so
Knows
that's-
he lit the fire.
That's perfect. That conversation had to stop there because now she has to sit on that.
Yeah, and think
instead
about
of
it.
being angry. Yeah,
Yep.
see right there. it's
She knows the truth,
She knows.
but she doesn't want to believe it, obviously.
Nope.
Well, she already knew.
Yep.
Well, she didn't know it was
That-
for
Hammered it.
yeah Dama, but now
yeah.
that Negan mentioned it,
I
she'll
don't
start
like this
piecing it.
one bit.
Isn't this a nice surprise?
Technically, I didn't wave anything. Nothing in your closet fit quite right.
So did they rig his walker to go boom or what? So they had that can of gas or oil.
Ah, I see. You're both slippery bastards.
She's so gonna get caught. Well, this is interesting.
Oh, looks like Saturday night at 2 a.m. in Appleton. That's what that looks like down on the
Oh,
Ave.
you know, some indie shows where, hey, brother, you want to ease up on the baby oil?
Come on over. Come on, smell. Come on, get over here, shorty. Come on. Rule says no physical contact. Come on.
Uh-oh, back of the head's exposed.
Yeah.
Come on, boys. What are you doing?
Why do you keep looking up?
Yeah.
It's gonna get.
These walkers are real slow here, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Everybody sees Maggie now.
Just great. Oh, boy.
Remember when walkers used to be a threat?
Well, this is kind of a slightly controlled environment.
Yeah, I know.
Now
now he's caught.
Threat.
Yeah, it is a person. Yep. Oh, Negan. Why did he do that? Just because it was a person? Why would he care? I mean, I get he's kind of changed a little bit, but still.
He just got his leverage.
I know what you've been doing.
Wow. That was one for the history books, huh?
Is he gonna tell him?
I hope you got all that down, Mr. Pierce.
Is he gonna
Now,
be like,
I think what we've really won is each other's trust.
Oh, here we go.
yeah, he's backing off.
In the spirit of trust, I am willing to join the alliance. No strings attached. For you. And you. Both of you. Come on, give it up. Give it up to the alliance.
To the Alliance! Because it's you.
Come on.
Come on!
We're in trust here. We're in trust here.
Where's Herschel?
I'm the first one here. You're the second.
He's with his new.
Oh, okay, he's here.
Oh,
I thought the same thing.
What took you so long?
Took me a while to get out.
liar.
Do we really have to do this again?
This
Well,
poor
don't
guy.
worry. Dama would like to find you a more feminine home.
I don't know how you pulled that off, but you always do. Your family would be so proud.
Keeps throwing that in his face.
Negan, join me.
Man, the way Negan carries himself, just the way he stands, is so different than what he used to do. I'm just waiting for when he reverts back.
I don't think he's reverting back. We're 4 episodes in now. If anything, it's just to survive,
yeah.
not to be full-on Negan like they were promoting.
Well, I think when he gets the upper hand on Dama.
We were so close today.
Okay, so it's a person, but doesn't seem to be all there.
You did wonderfully today.
Ugh.
Oh,
Eating them rats raw.
oh.
Had a really good run. Tony,
Oh,
Tony.
that's Tony.
I'd like to think in a way that I've served you too. I have given you the most valuable thing of all in this world.
Live rats.
Purpose.
A purpose. Now that our secret's out, they're no longer of any use to me.
Oh. Well, I don't know how long he thought Tony was going to live making him eat raw rats.
Apparently a while.
Well, I mean, I guess if you...
Like the Black Plague doing that.
Yeah.
Picked up a really good tip today. Higher the risk, higher the yield. I'm not out of moves just yet.
Yeah, at this point, just get closer.
Yeah.
It's like the,
Gentlemen,
We are
Garrett. Your
Garrett. Oh, I mean, Kim Coates is such a welcome addition to this series. To get a villain, one that's an actor that we know and love from his previous work, certainly stands on its own. But to have Kim in this role, delivering it the way that he is, with all the little nuances that he does, that's what makes a villain so great. Not this just bland vanilla type villains that we had with the governor here early on, and Dama, they really just started to give her some backstory here in season 2 with that scene at the table where she was really affected talking about the old world. So
she was nervous.
Yeah, I mean, so that's interesting, but it's like, why do you got to wait so long to get me invested in our main or any villain, I guess.
But is it working now?
I mean, yeah, now it's working.
Yeah.
Here we are just wrapping up, episode 4 of season 2. And now I feel like I'm really immersed in this world now. The sides, what everybody's trying to do. You see Dama and company trying to kind of circle the wagons and grab as many troops as they can to take on New Babylon. And I mean, yes, methane would be definitely a resource, but it's curious to me. And again, I know that this is maybe a time frame thing or a time jump, but we've seen so many other worlds and civilizations in the Walking Dead universe. Look, they don't have to explain what happened to Commonwealth or CRM or Alexandria or any of these other places that we have. I'm just going to go ahead and assume they're either not around or they don't have the reach to be at New York here, given that Dead City is the furthest in the franchise as far as being into the future. So all that being said, this was a really fun episode, and I'm not sure if it made the cut, but I'm really waiting for Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Kim Coates to have just a monologue against one another, kind of a tit for tat type thing that we kind of saw with Kim Coates and Dama when they first got there, kind of the back and forth, the very sarcastic conversation that they had was a lot of fun, and it just gives depth to everything that they're doing here. His champion, I thought, was kind of curious. I thought it would be somebody a little bit more together, but obviously he's been putting Tony there through the paces for a while and just feeding him raw rats to feed on. So I'm not sure what his long-term plan was with that. But nonetheless, I liked how everything came together in this episode. I really feel like it's setting us up for the big run towards the finish. And Herschel's character, man, just to touch on that real quick for a second, Maggie can tell she's losing him and he's getting more distant. He's, didn't give her the hug back when they met up on the roof. And, you can tell when you give somebody a hug and they're just kind of standing there like a scarecrow that, not into it. So, and Maggie's trying to reconnect with them through all these old stories. And then she gets the hammer that Negan said, yeah, he's with Dama or you can't trust him. And, Maggie knows that. Maggie knows he lit the fire, but she just needed the confirmation, I think. And now it's up to her what she's going to do with that information, because she's been trying to make inroads to Herschel and trying to kind of bond with him. And it just hasn't been working. Herschel's got his mind set on the city and something bigger than what Maggie can offer him, because they even talked about it when they were on the log. And I don't know how you guys felt about that conversation. They were talking about candy bars and your favorite food that you missed. And Herschel has no frame of reference for any of that. He doesn't know what any of that stuff is. To him, it's just, well, I've got to live another day and walkers didn't eat me, so that's a win. That's kind of the what he looks forward to. So I think he has a hard time connecting with any of that, and I don't think he sees what they're fighting so hard for to try to bring back. And he basically said as much when he talked about the old world. So yeah, great episode. I like where they're going with all the characters, and fantastic to see a lot of Kim Coates on screen.
Yeah, I mean, talk about the perfect guy to cast for this particular role. I mean, he's somebody who is incredibly witty. He just is the character. I mean, for post-apocalyptic bad guy with charisma, I mean, there's a lot of things that he has to be as this character, and he's crushing all of them. For those of you who are fans of Sons of Anarchy, I see maybe a little bit of Tig in there, just a little bit. But
looks like Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah, with the classical stuff. You know, it was interesting that we got a little bit of the Dama's backstory. I wouldn't have thought that a theater critic was what they would have gone with, and boy, she did not like having that brought up. You could just see that. I was waiting for her to.
Yeah, it's like Superman without the cape.
Yeah, I was waiting for her to just knife that dude in the middle of the story, but she allowed him to finish. Maybe because she feels like she needs him. Maybe because she didn't want to be rude at their feast they were having of rats and carrots.
Well, she's got a lot riding on that.
A couple things. The whole thing with Tony though. Obviously, he's a living human. We're not doctors. We're not doctors. But to consume raw rat meat, we're 15, 17
well,
years.
The rat's alive too.
We're 15, 17 years. What are we? 17 years.
About 15. We'll say 15.
Okay, let's just say 15 years. So could somebody's, your stomach and your immune system, I don't know, man. Rats are.
Well, we don't quite know how long they've been doing these fights for. It was just
he's 26-0.
Yeah, he's 26-0.
No, I'm not even talking about the fights. I'm talking about a human. Would the human be able to build up the bacterial system in your digestive system to be able to eat rats raw and not die from it? You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting
I just didn't know if he's been feeding him rats the whole time, or
that's what I'm wondering is if somebody slowly built it up over in a very, very extended period of time, because that seems very interesting for me, and I don't know now that Tony's gone if we're ever going to get an explanation on how he was able to eat live rats and not get very, very sick.
It was interesting that Negan cared though.
Well, I think Negan in the moment.
He turned it into leverage, though.
Yeah, he realized he could leverage it. Like, oh shit, that's a person.
He's been cheating this whole time,
right? But also, you see. I mean, it's a moment of shock, right? Oh shit, that's a real person. Like, let's get this fixed.
Yeah, I guess he figured it's more valuable for him to know he's cheating than to just win.
Well, right. He's got a secret. Like, what? Look, if he peels the hat off, then you lose the secret. But he's, now all of a sudden he put himself in a position of power, which he exploited big time right there. Now, look, I don't think Dama necessarily caught it. The Croats, like, he sees everything, right? So he sees everything.
Even Maggie.
So he knows something's going on with Negan now. The whole thing with Herschel is getting a little bit like, what's happening here? Maybe Herschel feels like, his mom's on the wrong side of the fight, and he hopes that because it's mom, she's just going to forgive him or accept his mistakes. But
the interesting part is we got another glimpse into how he views the world, right? Because he was when they were sitting on the log before the Kit Kat and hey, what'd you miss in the past? He was basically like,
well, you wonder if Dama gave him this. You wonder if Dama gave him the speech like, "This is the way it is now, and we're gonna make it. We're gonna make this the best we can make it now." And your mom's trying to turn it back to the old world. Well, all there was is, and there was some truth to what he said. Obviously, look, I think anybody would agree that regardless of how messed up our society can be at times, it's better than the situation they're in right now. But for somebody who was born into it, you wouldn't have any frame of reference. So this would really be all you know. But look, another good episode. It's Mason Quinn. You kind of had talked in the intro. Like usually, this is around the time where they really start pushing things forward big time. And I felt like we got that here. So Walker Fight Club was a little interesting. I'm like, they're all walkers. They're not going to really go after each other that much. But the one thing I will say, and look, that's probably why he was dumping blood all over it, is so the walker. I mean, because from what we've seen, if he didn't dump the blood over it, he would have like raged on him. Like, okay, what's going on here? So, but yeah, another interesting episode.
We didn't get much out of our people living in Central Park.
No, I think
we're kind of done with that. I think.
Yeah.
Well, I think the next one or two, I don't have a feeling that community's going to be around much longer. Let's just say.
Could be because everywhere our groups go, communities seem to just
hard to
fall.
say. We'll see, I guess.
Yeah, I thought the episode was all right. The highlight was Kim Coates because the character personality he brought to life, and it was a much needed addition to this series, at least in my opinion. I'm not sure, and again, when I say this, I understand what Negan's been through, but I'm not 100% sure if I'm totally digging it yet, but I understand why he is acting the way he is, but I feel like he's got a free pass. Now, I know he doesn't want to be who he used to be, but you would think that he's going to lean into it a little bit more, but he's actually been very calculated on this. So, again, like I was saying, I think it was last week, I get we're getting, just like in wrestling, we get different shades of that character. Yeah. We're just getting a different shade here.
Well, we had different Rick Grimes.
That's what I mean. Like we've gotten different Rick Grimes. Yeah. That, some folks were like, nope, don't like this Rick Grimes. I'm kind of on the fence of this version of Negan. Again, definitely understand where he's coming from and everything. It was nice to finally see Maggie not, borderline have a heart attack on every scene because these couple episodes, man, outside of the open where we saw her teaching Herschel with the knives, where she was nice and calm, everything else has been just redlining for her. Yeah. So it's nice to see her try to pull Herschel back in emotionally a little bit. She's opened her heart up a little bit, which I thought was interesting, but probably much needed. Just get something off her chest a little bit. Finally, I know I should just give some time to get the reveals here because, yes, it ended up being a human because I was like, how in the hell are these things? Because when we first saw it, we were like, this makes no sense. Yeah. So good that we got some answers there. So kudos to the writing for actually swinging back and giving us that because this was Fear the Walking Dead. I don't think that would have happened with Ian and Andrew there.
I liked how Dama kept reminding us that she had Negan's family. Yep. And I think that's important because for the audience, we're so used to seeing Negan the way he is. We have to have a constant reminder of the upper hand she has.
And that's part of the reason why I'm saying I understand it. But I feel like Negan has moments to be old Negan. But again, I understand he doesn't want to be old Negan. He just wants to get back to the
He did in season 1 where he had that speech on top of the thing and he had the guy's guts go all over the place.
Oh, yeah. Like that was a moment.
He dialed into it there.
And then backed off.
Yeah.
Well, and there was moments in season 2 or season 1 where he had to turn it on because he didn't want Maggie taking him out. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad, like you guys, with Dama getting that little bit of a backstory. But yes, I was totally waiting for because dude, she was unnerved there.
Yeah. Big time.
She had the lip twitching.
That was a very good performance, I shouldn't say very good. That was an excellent performance by her there. And highlighting that.
Have you guys noticed too that anytime her past is brought up, she really starts to get a little shut down, nervous. So it's very interesting the way that her character is. So I'm liking where we're going with her with these slow layers that we're pulling back each episode now. And I hope we do get a flashback of sorts to the conversation because clearly Dama and Herschel had a conversation there. So I'm hoping we get at least a little bit of information on that in the next episode. But again, not a bad episode, but I should say it was just a meh. It was okay. Nothing too crazy. There were some good things that happened in here, but we're going to go on episode 5 out of an 8-episode season, so I'm hoping now they start kind of cranking it up a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's almost easier as a viewer if you just look at this series as almost a standalone series in the fact that you kind of have to ignore the other universes that are out there.
And the past a little bit.
And the past, just be like, bit. Okay, here's where we are. There's a source of methane. There's a group that wants it.
All groups.
How are they going to... How are they going to keep the gasoline safe? But that's kind of how I think we have to look at it. And I think then you can kind of just take the ride with it and just, kind of enjoy it. I don't mean this in a bad way. Enjoy it for what it is, but enjoy it as the standalone series that it is. Because I'm looking for Croat and Negan. Like, I know that Croat appreciates Negan, but he's got to know Negan's bullshitting him on a lot of stuff. And I'm just wondering when that's going to maybe come up. If it does, again, we're halfway through the season here, so it'll be interesting to see. And are they going to wrap up the series on episode 8, or are we going to do more? I don't know if they've said if they're going to do a season 3
I thought
yet, so
I
who
saw
knows?
something that Daryl might get one more, and Dead City might end here. I don't know. Either way,
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything official, but
Are we going to see Rick Grimes again? Are we finally going to get the reunion?
15
I
years
know
into
I'm
the-
going off, but
15 years into The Walking Dead. I mean, look, it's still not bad television. I mean, it's still
No,
entertaining. There's
we've
still
seen
value
worse.
to it.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
seen worse.
We've seen
But,
worse.
so whether they keep it going for another season, end it here, it's so weird to think of an actual end to The Walking Dead, though, right? Like, okay, this is
bittersweet.
This is really, really it this time. Like for the real end, I think we all can agree we deserve some sort of better ending than, the ones of us that
the ones who live, yeah.
the ones who lived. We're a family now. It was like, oh, please don't, no, don't do this to me. Do not do this to me.
We need
So
like a reunion.
there has to be something.
Yeah.
We shall see.
We will see. Well, folks, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this episode. So for Diamond Dave Damone, that's the Appleton Oak. I'm Mason Quinn. This was Bad Medicine. That was Dead City. We'll see you back in a week.